Welcome to the best of first-person episodes from Phantoms and Monsters. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you'll be notified of all future uploads.
Tall red-eyed O'Hare Mothman close encounter at USPS sorting facility. I had just left work at the USPS sorting facility at O'Hare International Airport at about 11 p.m. on Thursday, the 24th of September, and was walking out to my car when I saw something standing at the far end of the parking where I usually park. At first I thought it was a very tall person with a long coat. As I got closer to my car, I unlocked my car, which caused my headlights to come on. My headlights hit the person standing about 20 to 25 feet from my car, causing it to turn and look right at me. I saw that this was not some person, but some red-eyed being, and what appeared to be a coat were actually wings which had spread out as it turned to look at me. At first I thought it was some kind of very large bird, but I've never seen any bird that stood almost 7 feet tall. I'm 5'4", and this thing looked taller than me by at least 2 feet. This thing then started making some type of chirping sound, almost a half chirp and half click like someone was clicking their tongue, but much faster. It then made some type of screeching sound and took off running toward me. It got to within 10 feet of me and took off into the air and flew above me. I was screaming hysterically as I crouched down behind my car's open door, and I dived into my car headfirst. I was in a near panic as I tried to start the car, close and lock the doors and turn on my interior lights. I started my car and took off out of the parking lot and flew down the road until I hit the main road. I got home and told my husband, who also works at the same facility, and he was the one who told me about the sightings of this thing. I was scared shitless and hope I never see this thing again. This thing is roaming around the area, scaring people half to death. I hope the airport people decide to do something about this thing someday. Lenore.
Could winged cryptids really be harbingers of bad luck? I live in Little Rock, Arkansas. I am so glad I found your website. I found it by Googling large flying thing with 20-foot wings. Over the years I have stepped outside my home at night, just walking around often, to look up at the stars. I love the night sky and find it beautiful and mysterious. Back in 2017, I went outside after the sunset, around 10 p.m. I looked to the south side above my home. I couldn't believe it, but I saw a large winged thing on my roof. It spread its wings and swooped toward me. I couldn't move. I remember its wings were wider than the length of my house. It flew around and was gone. I thought, what was that? I only would see it randomly. Other times, I would come outside around dusk. I would see a black flying thing the size of a hummingbird swoop around my yard, going extremely fast. Then it would disappear. Last night, on October 10, 2020, I was sitting at the drive-thru at a Wendy's here in Little Rock, Arkansas. I had ordered food, then drove up in the line. I heard someone running near my vehicle. I looked behind me and saw a dark winged thing flying over back of my vehicle. I looked at the cars behind me and wondered if anyone else had seen anything, but I didn't get out to ask. This was troubling to me. I thought, is this some bad omen taunting me? Because back when I saw this thing around my home, bad things would happen. Bad luck things. Relationship problems, water pipes burst in my house, car problems, sewer backup, lost my job. I got scared, and I'm still scared. I got holy water, sprinkled it in my yard and burned white sage outside and inside, praying to God for protection. I don't need nothing else bad coming my way. I just got my transmission fixed, and since I saw this large winged monster, my engine light is on. The first time I saw the dark flying humanoid was at night after 10 p.m., between 2012 and 2017 on my roof. I didn't see its face. I only saw the huge wings, and it wearing a long black coat. I began seeing a smaller dark winged thing flying around my property. It looked like a large dragonfly. It would show up right after sunset, or dusk. It would fly at high speeds around my porch, where I would be sitting. It would fly around for only seconds, and disappeared. I had not seen it for a while, nor did I tell anyone, or Google it until I saw it Sunday 10/11/2020. I did experience bad things after I first saw it. I had financial problems and personal relationships ended. Water pipes burst inside the house, my 3 cars broke down. I even lost my job. When visitors would come by the house, we would get into arguments. Visitors would act strange, like they had an affliction. It would flare up when they got around me, or at my home. So, I got tired. I sprinkled sulfur and holy water all around my property. Burned white sage into a small burning pit I made. Prayed out loud each day for weeks, months that this thing would get out. Go. I have not seen or sensed this thing for about 9 months. I was feeling better, situations getting lighter. Finances improving. Relationships improving. Fixed my transmissions in my cars. Fixed everything in house that broke. Saturday, October 10th, 2020, around 9:30 p.m., I see it near my vehicle while I'm sitting in a drive-thru at Wendy's. So, that's my story. My question to you, from all of the stories you have received from people over the years, what have you come up with? Have you seen the humanoid? Have you experienced anything negative? Well, that's my story. If you know what this large wing thing is, please email me back. Thanks. I'm scared crazy. Claire.
Bat-winged humanoid observed behind Schaumburg, Illinois Catholic Church. I was just reading an article on Facebook about the Illinois Mothman bat creature. I recently just saw something that matched that description over in Schaumburg, Illinois. It happened just 2 nights ago. My cousin and I were walking around the area over by a church. We were playing Pokemon Go, and right before we walked up a path, there was an open meadow with tall street lights shining at the opening into the grassy area. I happened to notice 2 big black wings flap a few times then take off, and it actually passed through the lights of the street lamps, and I could tell it wasn't a bird, but more like a bat. I could see the light through the membrane wings as well. But then I thought, how could that be a bat? It was huge. I'm talking like a wingspan of about 12 feet or more. I've never seen anything like it before. Thomas.
Flying Jeepers Creepers humanoid strikes Windshield in South Dakota. Back in 2013, my friend Brad lived in rural South Dakota, and I would go see him any time of the day or night. It was late and I was headed to his place, no traffic on the highway, and just had the light of my headlights to see. I came upon a curve and up ahead was something black crouched over in the middle of the road, like it was looking at something or maybe eating it. I like to drive fast and love animals, and didn't want to hurt whatever it was, so I hit my brakes to slow down. When all of a sudden this thing spread out its wings, which looked like a black cape, I think. It all happened so fast, and I thought it would have lifted up and away, when it took off backwards towards my car, and it hit the top center of my windshield. It was so hard I ducked and instantly looked in the rear-view mirror to see if it was still alive. It was way too dark to see, plus there was a row of bushes. I knew it had to have smashed my windshield. I couldn't tell how bad, but I could see this glitter splatter, so I just kept driving to my friend's place, which was about another 10 minutes away. When I pulled up and he came out to greet me, I was so shook up on what I just hit and was telling him the story and how we had to take his truck and go see if it was still alive. He kept telling me to wait for morning, but I wouldn't stop begging him. He finally agreed to ease my mind, and we started to walk to his truck and stopped to look at my windshield. The windshield was not cracked at all, but the splatter it left behind was a huge gray glitter splatter and felt all silky and soft, like when you kill a moth, only bigger, way bigger. We got in the truck and drove to where I had hit it, and nothing was in the road or ditches. I felt better about not seeing anything still alive and suffering, but was baffled at what just happened and the glitter splatter. About a week later, my friend died of a massive heart attack. This happened in 2013, and I moved away for a couple years, and now I'm back home. I haven't told a lot of people my story. I did research Mothman and it makes me wonder. It happened so fast and I'm very observant, and it kind of reminded me of the Jeepers Creepers guy, all crouched in the road eating something. Robert.
This is Lon Strickler. If you like this program, it would help us if you would give it a thumbs up. Then subscribe and click the bell icon so you get notification when we upload new first-person encounters. We have many more to come very soon. And by the way, if you have a suggestion or an experience of your own, please leave a comment.